And hey there, my name is Mal, and we're actually going to go ahead and check out some Civ 6. I bought the game like immediately as soon as the game came out, just because I love the game so much. I love the Civilization series. We're going to go ahead and make a small video here on what the first, I want to say like 100 to 150 turns of the game are, and what you want to focus mostly on. That way you can know, how to play, what's important, things like that. Let's see here. What do I want to do? So, when you first start the game, you get a warrior unit that you're probably going to use to just walk around and check out the surrounding area. This is turn 1. You're also going to get your first settler, which is going to create your first area and city and civilization. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move them right there. Now I'm going to go ahead and make a city right here. Now, before I do that, let me show you. There's ways so you can change the map to your kind of advantage so you know what you're doing. As an example, this is strategy view, which is this button right here. Can let you just a big flat overview of the land. There's a way you can do map pins. I actually don't really use those. Map options, like you can show the grid. So the grid appears and disappears. And yield icons. Now the yield icons are so important. I have a lot of people telling me they don't know where this option is. It's literally right here. Show yield icons. It's this little button right there. And it shows you everything that's nearby. So when you place your city, what's important is to know what's nearby. As an example, I want to place my city here. It has rivers. That's kind of important for future building. It's got lots of food. It's got some production, more food. It's got resources like wheat and stone and bananas. Bananas are cool. I like bananas. So those are really important things as well. Also, what's cool is this is new. It's called lenses. You get to see the distribution of government in the area. You can see what your settlers get to see, the appeal of land, how the continent looks, different things like that, how religion affects your land, just stuff like that. So right now I'm going to go ahead and take my city. I'm going to place it right here, right next to these rivers. I have this city. I'm not going to pronounce that. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that. And then I've got this city right here. Now, for my first city, what's going to be important is that I'm going to have to find out what I want to produce. First, I'm noticing that I produce this much every turn right here in this bar. Now, I can set to focus things. Like I can click that button to focus primarily on food or to not focus on it. I can hit this button to focus on production or not focus on it. This plan doesn't really sprawled out or anything like that just yet, so I don't have to worry about maybe making focuses yet because the city is really small. But what is important to notice is that I have only one population, and it's going to take 5 turns to make another person. You need population so that way you can actually build more shit. So what's important is your first turn, which you're really going to more likely want to build, is a scout that we can search the surrounding area. Making a slinger, because by the way, you're about to get attacked by bandits and barbarians. It just happens. I'm sorry. And builders. Those are your first 3 things you're going to focus on. Notice how many turns that's going to take. 9, 8, and 12. That's like 30 turns. The first big part of your game is just you mostly just making the small shit. Research tree, depending on how you want to win the game, this is important. If you're the kind of civilization that does mostly fishing, you're going to want to go in the sailing direction, say if you want to go across the ocean. And then depending on other things that you want to do, as an example, if you want to go towards the militaristic view, there's archery, which goes into bronze working and masonry and iron working and things like that. For what you want to first focus on is mining and animal husbandry. This makes it so you can get more gold and more production. This makes it so you can get more production as well, which is more important. That way you can start building things faster. So mining is better if you want to build things faster. Animal husbandry is good if you have horses nearby or cattle or sheep or you want to do anything like that. So when you take your first pick, you've looked at your area. I don't have any of these resources. I don't have truffles or fur or cattle or sheep or horses. So I'm going to go straight into mining because I do have stone nearby. So we're going to go ahead and do that. That's the end of my first turn. I know it's a lot of information to take in, but what's really important is just to have fun. I'm going to tell you 100%. Just have fun with this game. Oh, what do you know? I found barbarians automatically. So what did I tell you? Barbarians are just going to happen. If you ever find anything in the game that's worth noting, there's a little bar here above the next turn. It's right here. That shows you kind of information about your tribal villages or anything that you found nearby. Like if you find a resource, find an enemy, someone's attacking you, you'll find info. And if you click it, it brings you right over whatever that item is and you can zoom in. This is a tribal village. Now, tribal villages are important because if you find them, they're like prehistoric, ancient era villages that your characters can just walk on and get like a small bonus. Sometimes gold, sometimes it's an item, sometimes it's you learn more about a certain technology. These are bonuses that really are important, and if you see other civilizations, they will also gun for it too. So if you see these tribal villages, go for it.
Reconnaissance units
So that exactly, you have the option to get items or advantages, and I actually found a scout, which is great, but that kind of fucks me up a little bit, and I'll kind of explain why. I was already making a scout. I was like 5 turns away from making a scout, and because of that production that was used is technically wasted. I mean, the next time I make a scout, that production will still be there. So no matter how many times I switch, let's say 100 turns passed, you know, I'll still have that production into making that said scout, but I'm not really needing to make one at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a slinger instead. It's going to be 9 turns from now, and I have this scout, and I'm going to just fucking send him off. Oh, hey, look, milk. Oh, shit. So yeah, I found the, apparently the tribal village was right next to the barbarian village. If I attack, we'll show a little bit of the, combat here real quick. You're not going to be doing a whole lot of combat in the first couple of turns. It's mostly just you scouting out. You will do a little with the barbarians, and that's what I'll show you right here. So these are spearmen. They automatically get spearmen, which I think is so stupid. They're actually kind of strong for the early game area. But that's the point. It's supposed to be like a threat. And if I don't take them out, and if I don't put my unit over the barbarian village, they will keep spawning units, which will then attack my city, which is literally right there. Now, my city is, just so happen though, have some bonuses though. The barbarians have to walk through a tree line, that slows them down. Then they have to walk through this second tree line, that'll slow them down. Then they gotta walk past the river, which slows them down even more. So I could hypothetically just leave them alone and wait until I get my slinger, but they'll be on my doorstep sooner than you think. So we're just gonna go ahead and start them to combat here, and I'll show you. Click the unit, you right click on the actual enemy, and then it just plays out. It's pretty simple as far as that goes. And you can see my units lost a little bit of health. They have 66 health out of 100. They also lost a lot of health. Now, if I was to attack again, I can't right now, but if I was to attack again, I would actually take a minor defeat on that one. So I did some damage, but really not enough to really consider it to be a win. So on the next turn, I'm more than likely going to move him away. I found that barbarian village. It stays on the map. So even though this is like the fog of war, it's clouded, you'll always know it's there. So it's really important that you remember that. And the same for resources. Nothing's going to change. It's turn 8. Let's look at my people. I have 2 population now, because the first like 5 to 6 turns did pass. It shows what I'm building. Like I said, I'm close to having that slinger finished. And my city grew. I now actually have this tile as well. Your cities will automatically grow as they get more people and as time passes. It depends on your civilization, what kinds of people you have, things of that nature. Yeah, go this way. Oh, I found another village. Okay, so what's cool is, so we've got the character and you've got your units. Let's talk about more of the stuff that they can do. When you're moving a unit, you can skip their turns if you want to. You can fortify, which means they don't do anything. They stand there until you click them again. I'm talking turns later, and they're just defending. You can also make it so they move. There are other options like destroying them. You shouldn't do that. There's also automatic explore. You do that, you lose control over your unit until you click them again, and they're just exploring. So I'm just going to go ahead and end his turn for now. Hey, look at that, I met Brazil. So we're going to explain all of that just happened. I found Brazil. Now the people of Brazil have a scout right here. And they said hello to me, and they're like, yo, what's up? And I'm like, yo, what's up? And we're not threats to each other. Yet, it could happen though. In the game, when you hit certain like moments or find certain things, you get what's called Eureka, or inspiration as sometimes it's called. This boosts a lot of things in the game. It boosts if you learn, civics and governments faster. It boosts if you learn like researches faster. So it's important to literally just explore the game as much as possible, so you can find all this kind of stuff, so you can get all this inspiration. It's a really big change for Civ 6, which I really like. I don't remember it being in any of the earlier games. So your character, your continent and your government can get all these advances. Hey, look, oysters. Oh, pearls. And you can get all these bonuses, which are really important, so that way you can, get a leg up against the other people, which is important.
When you find yourself in a hole, quit digging.
By the way, I love the fact that, is it Sean Bean? Ned Stark is basically the one that's narrating the whole entire game. It's pretty cool. I'm even playing the game, and again, this is like turn 10 out of the first parts of the turns, and even now it's like, what do I really want to do? What's important for my people and for my village? I'm gonna go ahead and go for iron. Iron's really important for a lot of work and also trade, which is a big deal. Okay, actually I'm China, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this, which is masonry. I'm gonna build the Great Wall, which is a wonder. It's something that's only available to China, and each the civilizations or the rulers have different bonuses and different things they can and cannot get that others can and cannot get. Make another production. I'm gonna make a builder. Now, as every turn passes, we of course get gold. I usually use gold to buy things. We can get faith if you're more religion-based. You can get culture. Culture is important for like ethics and laws, and of course, science is for your technology. The 4 staples of how the game works. So I just finished a civic.
Best, man is the noblest of all animals. Separated from law and justice, he is the worst.
This is a part of the government and civics and ethics policies, which is really cool, which I really like, is the way they did it in this game. You get to do what's called government. Now, my government, since it's the ancient era, is called a chiefdom. We're basically just tribal natives in the wild. And there's something you can get what's called legacy bonuses, which are important for governments. We'll talk about that in a little bit. First, you get policies. Now, I have 1 military policy I can enact, 1 economic policy, which helps for things, and I'm just going to do it right now. I'm going to put +1 production to my city. And then double experience for recon. I'm going to put +5 combat strength when fighting barbarians. There's shit tons of barbarians right now, so that's what it's going to be. Now, in these early turns, there's not a lot that goes on, honestly. You're spending a lot of time. Oh, there's that barbarian village still. There's still a lot of time that's spent building, like I was saying earlier. Like, I built slingers. I've got that scout, which I got for free. Hey, look, there's that other scout. Oh, hey, look, it's Gandhi.
मैं मोहनदास गांधी हूँ। मेरे लोग मुझे बापू कहते हैं।
My God, he's so
मुझे
bald.
मित्र कहें।
He's trying to figure out if I'm a threat or anything like that, and more than likely, Pedro II, who also just said hello. Funny enough, I was just going to say his name. He sent a diplomatic delegation, so let's talk about that a little bit. Governments, or other rulers, they try to do things like find out what you're going with, make deals, make trades. This is a delegation. This means that Pedro II of the Brazilian Empire, he thinks I'm a cool guy, but he also thinks I'm not a threat. That's how the rulers think. They're like, is he a threat? Is someone I can fight? They think 100% politically about my station in life and theirs too. So, he sent me a delegation, which is like flowers and cake. He's being nice. I'm going to say it's welcome, because that's nice. There's no reason to pick fights with anyone early in the game. Please don't. I got once a fight picked on me by Britain and, France, and they kicked my ass. It was not great. I did not have a good time. So, when you click your build, you get to see all these things around you that you can build that are really important. I'm actually going to move to this farm. We're going to move to this farm here, and I'm going to improve the farm with the wheat. So it's a really big deal. So now that I've made a farm, there we go. I got another boost because I made something. So rice and wheat resources gain +1 food each. City must be adjacent to a river. So what's important is that because I got that wheat spot, later on when I research this and I build a water mill, that wheat spot I already created will get a bonus. You got to think about those things when you make stuff. Back to my conversation on builders. They only have so many uses. Now that's different from before where they were just a unit. Right now they are born into the world and they have so many uses. Most start with 3. Certain civilizations get more. You can build buildings that give them more, but they start with 3. When you use them, they use up one of their units, or one of the men that they have, and that then makes that resource. I just built a mine here, and that got rid of one of the uses I had for the building. I'm going to go right towards that watermill I was just talking about earlier.
Organisms don't think of CO2 as a poison. Plants and organisms that make shells, coral, think of it as a building.
So you'll find natural wonders in the world, which is important. Now, if I built a city next to this wonder, and I then designated my people to use these resources, I'll get shit tons of bonuses to food and science. That makes this spot a very nice spot to want to build. And you may think, oh, I'll just make a settler and do that. But wait, I have the yield icons like I was talking about earlier. What's important is that there's not really a whole lot of production here. There's 2. Meaning anything I want to build here is going to take ages. Oh, it started the Great Wall. It started the one Great Wall. I have to expand it that away. Now, it's turn 24. Again, this is the early parts of the game. I found a city-state of Kabul. City-states let you send envoys to them so you can get bonuses. As an example, with Kabul, if I send city-states to them, I get +2 production in my capital, +2 production in encampments, +2 production when making units, and you get bonuses. Now, the person with the most envoys sent to them is the one who gets these bonuses. No one's sending envoys to him but me. I'm sending 1. You automatically get 1 when you find the people. They also have units of their own too, and they will defend their lands against any and everything. What are you doing in my land? Why are you in my land, Brazil? Rude motherfuckers. As the turns pass, it's turn 25 now. We can tell that from up in the top right, this is you and all the other people. Right now, Gandhi doesn't like me. I think it's probably because I have a lot of defenses, and he's more religious. The actual other leaders have what's called agendas, which is a little bit new. You get to see some of the cool stuff they have, and you get to see how they feel about other people. You can see if there's any gossip, if you have any access to like knowing things about them, but they have what's really cool as agendas. They're the driving force in the leader that tells them what to do. You get to know one agenda, which is the same every time you play the game for these specific leaders. For Gandhi, it's peacekeeper. He will never declare war, for which he can be branded a warmonger. He doesn't want to be a warmonger. He'll fight, but if it's like an unjust war, he won't declare war. He's also going to befriend everyone to try to make peace. He hates warmongers. So if he feels you're a warmonger, meaning if you have a lot of armies and you fight a lot, he's going to fight you. He also has a hidden agenda. Now, if I become really nice with him and we talk a lot, I can find out what it is. I once had one where it was Britain. They hated people that expanded and wanted to take over their area and their realm. But at the same time, the other one was the hidden agenda was loved people that expanded and wanted to be close to them at all times and be allies. So it was really weird. So it makes really interesting changes to the game. That one was a bit contradictory, but at the same time, it was still really funny.
Having a weapon is very different from actually using it.
See, like I just said, he's upset the fact that I have an army because he thinks that I'm going to go to war. So as the games go on, you know, you're going through the turns, you pretty much figure out what you really want to fully on build and do. Making items, constructing buildings. As you're in your city, you're going to notice things you want to build. When you have enough units, you just start building on the districts and the buildings. I'm picking a monument right now, which gives me culture, which will help me improve my government. I could also build ancient walls, which provides me defenses. I'm not really being attacked, so I'm not going to do that right now. But as you build and play the game more and unlock more new technologies, more stuff will be able to be built. So now as you're playing the game, your city's expanding. One cool thing too is you can actually buy things like tiles nearby. I have enough gold, so I'm going to buy this other wheat tile. That way I can then send my builders to go build on it. Other things you can build or buy are like productions and stuff like that. Like I could buy another slinger, warrior, builder, settlers, which is really cool. Later on in the game, if you are religious, you can purchase things on faith. But it's not items. It's more like apostles or missionaries to spread your faith. I don't do faith that much, honestly. I'm more about war. I have now 5 civilians in my city, which are making food, which are making production, which are making everything. You can only have so many citizens in a town. You can tell by housing capacity. Certain buildings you build and learn through the science and technology increase your housing capacity. So you build those. They're called districts. So you can expand districts in the area, and I'll probably destroy this little spot right here. The other really important thing is as far as the amenities go. Amenities is more like attractions, like circuses or the arena or different things that make your citizens become less bored. Literally, if you don't have amenities for like 100 turns in a row, there will be a riot, and then all of a sudden 5 barbarian units will appear on your city. It sucks. I've lost that way. It's terrible. And again, you're told about that kind of stuff here on the side, and you're given warnings about that kind of stuff all the time. As you start to move into like turns 35 through 60, you're probably going to want to make another settler. I'm going to make one right now because I'm actually doing pretty good. It's hard to know really what the other leaders are thinking and want to do. It's really tough because you don't know what their agendas are. They could get upset about you learning stuff. Like I have one that got upset because I'm smart, and I'm just like, well, then get smarter, bro. Now, like I was saying, there's governments in the game, which are really important. For governments, it changes things that you can do during different times. There's like classical stuff, more into like medieval times, and more into like, you know, later on times towards modern times. As you play the game, you get to learn, you know, what you more so have and what you want to do. These give you more slots to be able to fill things for war, for trade, for commerce, stuff like that, and they give you bonuses. Now, the longer you have one of these other governments, the more you get these bonuses. One in production and combat units, great people units, stuff like that. The longer you are in that type of government and don't switch governments, you gain more of that bonus permanently. This is a really big deal. So that way you can actually get, let's say, 20% extra combat units or bonus production towards wonder, bonus influence points, faith. These are going to shape how you're going to want to play the game and win. Like, example, if you're really into war, you're going to want to eventually end up in probably fascism or communism. Fascism probably going to be what you want. So you're going to want to probably do an oligarchy first for experience towards combat. Then you're going to probably want to go towards monarchy or merchant republics. You can get discount on gold. You can buy units, or monarchy so you can keep your tight grip on your military. And then fascism, so that way you just do 20% on unit production. It just depends on how you want to build and play the game. As you get the settler, it shows you different areas that are good to grow and aren't. Like, I can't build here because it's close to the city, but there's spots everywhere it shows, oh, you're recommended to build here. And then bam, second city. So you have your second city now. It's turn 44. It can happen at any time during the game. Getting it before turn 75 is what's most suggested, so you can start getting more and more and more production. So, as you notice though, this town does not have a lot of production. It's got some, but not a whole lot. So what we're going to do is build something that's going to help with that production, being the watermill. It'll give extra food and extra production in your capital. And I can actually make that rice farm a better farm for it. It's going to take 27 turns though. I'm going to take the builder that I have, because I was saving him for just this occasion, and go over here, and I'm going to go put him in the city, and he's going to attack that rice, well, not attack, but he's going to go cultivate that rice farm. That way, once it is all done, and that way, once it's all good, it'll be good. Okay, so Rio de Janeiro got mad that I put a city there. I thought they'd get mad. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I actually don't care. Like, he can go fuck himself, but, you know. Now, as the game goes, like we're saying, we concentrate on, like, traveling, we concentrate on military. Right in the middle is going to be a lot of stuff that's going to concentrate on science. You need science. Without science, you can't actually go very far in the tree. I usually do that either A, first immediately, or I go into the stuff I was talking about earlier where I went to like construction or sailing. It is turn 50. I was able to get my scout to go all the way back around, and in those 50 turns, the first 50 turns, a lot happened. I made a second city. I have granary that's being built right now. I have farmlands. I have a defensive wall. I have lots of military units. I have defenses and structures I've built safe and strong for the early part of the game. Because if I hadn't, barbarians would have come down on my ass. If I hadn't, Brazil may have attacked me and declared war. If I didn't, Gandhi may have, well, actually Gandhi's actually pretty upset with me. And I also explored whole of this area with that said scout that I've just brought back kind of home, and now he's going to shoot off in the other direction. At this point, it's turn 50. More than likely, you're going to concentrate on all kinds of other things in the game and focus on what's more important. Right now, you're going to branch out a little bit, but that first part of the game is so important to plan and know what you're going to do, because everyone else is going to try to win, but I'm just saying it should be you that wins. This is Mal. I really love this game. I'm going to play more of this. If you guys definitely like it, you know, comment or subscribe. I promise to reply. And if you want me to play more Civ, or if you want to talk about more about the early game, I'm down to make the next 50 turns another episode about that. I'm totally down about that. I do love this game, and I'll even stay on the same profile. So just let me know, comment, everything like that. And I hope you love 4X games as well. IGN gave this a 9.4. This game got so many great reviews and rewards. This is one of the best 4X games that's ever come out in years, and I love it. This is Malachi signing out, and always remember, game on.